Hello, YouTube live stream. I am on here to speak to the hip hop community. Those those out there who are in love with lyrics that promote criminal activity. It's deeper than rap, it's deeper than music. So that's who I'm on here to speak to. The people in this world who are in love with lyrics that promote criminal activity and you try to justify it. It's deeper than rap, it's deeper than music. Representing representing criminal activity, representing the criminal life in hip hop leads to heartbreak in our community. Representing the criminal life in hip hop, it leads to heartbreak in the community. There's so many people in this world that's in love with lyrics that promote violence in our community. It's deeper than rap, it's deeper than music. That's what's tearing down our communities. These rappers in hip hop with their mouth and they talk about freedom of speech. That's not freedom. That ain't freedom. That's not freedom. What they rapping about is tearing down the community. Proverbs 14:12 says, there is a way that appears to be right. It appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. What they rapping about, what they've been rapping about for the last decade, that leads to death. It don't matter how much money they getting. There is a way of life that seems harmless. It seems harmless to represent death and destruction. There is a way of life that seems harmless. It seems harmless. Proverbs 14:12. There is a way, he said, there is a way that seems right to man, but in the end, the way leads to death. There is a way that looks harmless enough. Look again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time, but all the laughter will end in heartbreak. So it seemed like it's right. It seemed like it's right to represent criminal activity in hip hop. It seems marketable, but it leads to heartbreak. This is deeper than music. This is deeper than rap. It's deeper than that. It's the same message over and over again for the last, 30 years. Okay? People glorifying criminal activity, and that's tearing down our community. What they rapping about, that's tearing down the community. It looks right, and people can be influenced by that. They are being influenced. There's a lot of people being deceived. A lot of people are being deceived. Revelation 14:12 says the devil is deceiving this whole world. The devil is deceiving people. The devil is deceiving people who are listening to these lyrics. Revelation 14:7. Yes, people are being deceived. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than music. The criminal life is tearing down this community. So when you get on the microphone and you rapping about death and destruction, and then you try to justify it, glorifying glorifying criminal activity in hip hop leads to heartbreak. It leads to heartbreak, and it does have an influence. There is a way of life. The way of life that the rappers are rapping about in hip hop, Proverbs 14:12 in the Bible. That's where I'm getting this from. It seemed like it's right. There is a way of life that there's a way of life that looks harmless. It looks harmless. Look again. Look again. It leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. It seemed like it's a good time to glorify death and destruction. It seems harmless, but it leads to heartbreak. That's Proverbs 14:12, located in the Bible. I'm praying for the rappers in hip hop who are glorifying violence and trying to justify it. It does have an influence. It's deeper than rap, it's deeper than music. I'm praying for people who are in love with violent lyrics that tear down our community. Move the music out the way. It ain't got nothing to do with the music. It ain't got nothing to do with no music. Nope. Glorifying that street life. And you say, oh, that's freedom of speech. That's not freedom. Telling the whole stadium, telling the whole stadium of people that you live in, that you live in the criminal life and glorifying the criminal life. That does have an influence. It does. It does influence. The devil is deceiving people through these lyrics. People are being deceived through the lyrics in hip hop, through the message that these rappers are putting out. And it's the same old message decade after decade. And it's not helping our community. It's turned down our community. The female rappers in hip hop, the twerking, all that, everything that's being glorified, they're glorifying the same message over and over again. The same old message. I don't even got to listen to it to know what they're talking about. They're rapping about the same thing over and over again. And people in love with violence. People in love with listening to violence. A lot of these rappers in hip hop, if they didn't rap about this, nobody would purchase it. Nobody would buy it. But there is a way of life that it looks harmless. Proverbs 14:12. There is a way of life that looks harmless. Look again. It leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. All the laughter will end in heartbreak. So I'm praying that God's goodness and kindness and love will lead them to repentance, because criminal activity in the community, that ain't cool. That ain't helping none of the kids. That's not helping them. Telling the young girls to twerk on the floor and take off their clothes, it does have an influence. It does. It does have an influence. It has a big influence. Okay? It does have an influence. What they are rapping about does have an influence. Okay? It does have an influence. It has a big influence. And people think it don't. It does. You sit up and listen to negativity all the time. That's all these rappers rap about. Death and destruction. And what's going on in our community? Death and destruction. That's what they represent. And a lot of the people think that stuff is cool. It's not. It's not cool to represent death and destruction. Something is wrong with that. So in Proverbs 27:20, it talks about death and destruction. Let's go to Proverbs 27:20. That's all they've been rapping about in hip hop for what, 30 years. Same message. Death and destruction. And it says in Proverbs 27:20, death and destruction are never satisfied, neither are the human eyes. Death and destruction. That's all y'all rapping about. Death and destruction. And people are in love with death and destruction. It's empty. Proverbs 27:20. Bye-bye.